Well, good afternoon here, everybody. It is a pleasure to be back here at Austria, here, round 7 of the Euroformula Open Championship. It brings us to the Styrian Mountains here at the Red Bull Ring. 4.318 miles, 10 corners is what awaits these drivers here for race 2. We witnessed a bit of a dramatic one yesterday. Obviously, race 1 getting off with a bit of a bang. Ollie Goethe once again strengthening and grasping the hold on the championship as things stand. His 10th win of the season. And once again, a step closer to the title, but also a step closer to the wins record, the all-time wins record, currently owned by that of Felipe Drugovich, of course, the man who just won the Formula 2 championship as well. Yet again, Euroformula delivering yet another class act of a driver this season. Incredible indeed, but the championship battle still continues, and Oliver Goethe has got a true test certainly ahead of him. 9th place is where he starts, but this man starts on pole. Ayrton Simmons, who impressed everybody yesterday, having certainly very little preparation heading into this particular event, but starts on pole for this one. Josh Mason will be lining up alongside him as well. There's Frederick Lubin, the masterclass defensive effort back at Imola. Once again, he was right in the thick of it again yesterday, and he had some really nice things to say about his race as well. Looking forward to this one. There is Josh Mason, the man who took his 2nd win of the season when we last when we were at Imola in the prior round. He comes into this one on the front row, and here comes Alex Garcia as well. Vladislav Lomko there, who's currently sat in 5th as well, of course part of the Crypto Tower racing team. Of course, the Grand Prix de Pau winner as well. There's Christian Mansell, who was fighting it out with Goethe yesterday to certainly battle for the race win. Of course, a red flag towards the end, and Goethe was able to clinch the result off the back of it. Christian Mansell will be looking to try and seek redemption here in this race. There is Francesco Simonazzi, dazzling us with plenty of overtakes this season. He pulled off a real epic race in Imola indeed. Said that he needs to become more aggressive. We'll certainly see if he can do it again today. Alex Garcia, the Mexican, looking for an upturn in his fortunes as well. He's on the 2nd row of the grid though, 3rd place alongside that of Daniel Nogales. There's Oliver Goethe at the very back of the field. That won't deter the Great Dane though. He certainly has his eyes set on the championship, but given where he starts here, it's certainly going to be a big task for the Danish star. As we now take a look at the highlights from race 1 yesterday, and it really did kick things off with Ollie Goethe in front alongside Vladislav Lomko. Also got an equally good jump, in fact, took the lead off Goethe in the initial lap. Christian Mansell was in behind as well, with Josh Mason in behind. It certainly was a good start for Lomko, but Ollie Goethe was not deterred. He retook it. But how about this incident as well? It was a collision between that of Daniel Nogales as well as Alex Garcia. There you can see Goethe leading the charge as well. Lomko and Mansell came together as they then made their way through Remus. A dazzling overtake there from Christian Mansell, the Aussie really pulling it off, as we saw Simonazzi dueling his way through alongside Freddie Lubin, but spinning on the outset of Remus at turn 3. Certainly wasn't a great day for the Italian, but it was a great day for Ollie Goethe. A flick of the rear as he now made his way towards the line. He, of course, claiming victory ahead of that of Christian Mansell, who remained in behind for 2nd place. And this, of course, is what it did to the championship. 389 points going to Oliver Goethe, with Christian Mansell 85 points behind in 2nd place. Vladislav Lomko in 3rd, Josh Mason 4th, Frederick Lubin 5th, Sebastian Ogard 6th, Francesco Simonazzi in 7th. That is where we currently sit. Oliver Goethe, as I said, 1 step closer. We're about to get started for race 2. I am, of course, George Morgan. Joining me in the commentary box as well, Ian Silvestrian, and we're looking forward to this one, Ian. Here's the starting grid. Ayrton Simmons starts on the front row. A wonderful opportunity for that young man as well. Frederick Lubin alongside him. It's a British front row. Josh Mason also makes it a British P3 too, with alongside him Vladislav Lomko in 4th for Crypto Tower. In 5th place, Christian Mansell, the Aussie, lines up alongside Francesco Simonazzi. Alex Garcia in 7th, with Daniel Nogales returning here in 8th place as well. And from the very back, it will be Oliver Goethe on row 5, the sole man on row 5. But without a doubt, he's going to look to dazzle us here today, Ian.
Thank you, George. Just getting news from the Moto Park or Crypto Tower team that the DriveX team, that Daniel Nogales, well, he's not on the grid at the moment. We're trying to see if he will be starting from pit lane. As the Crypto Tower team watch on. This is going to be a fascinating race, particularly looking for Vlad Lomko. He was in dynamic form yesterday. There's the BVM Racing team, the Italian team, with Francesco Simonazzi. Ayrton Simmons, what a return to Euroformula Open to start from pole position for the DriveX team. No time in the simulator, certainly no time to test. He arrived at the circuit with his race gear on Thursday and parks the 12 DriveX Dallara EF320 on pole position for race 2. The Moto Park team, there is Marcus Siebert, the Argentine, 2016 Italian F4 champion, working with Moto Park this weekend. But it's the DriveX car of Juan Angel Castro, former Formula 3000 racer back in the day in the 90s, now running a DriveX team who are back with us for the last 3 rounds. And yes, it's not the biggest grid in the world, but stay with us, stay tuned, because there are more cars coming back for the last 2 rounds of the series, and certainly 2023 is looking bright for this magnificent championship. These missile-like cars as Ayrton Simmons leads them off on the formation lap. So we're waiting for news from Daniel Nogales if the young Spaniard will in fact make the start for race 2 here this morning on what is for the moment a dry track, but rain is forecast. It was forecast yesterday and it arrived exactly at the time it was not forecast. For the moment, Michelin slicks and the track is dry.
It is indeed sunshine as well, beckoning us here for the start of this race here at Austria. Obviously a big day for Ayrton Simmons, big opportunity for him to score some big points. No stranger to the top end, 3rd place at Hungary. That's what he managed to scoop up. But coming into this weekend with very little preparation, not even time in the simulator, but looking to score big here. Big opportunity for him to do so. Oliver Goethe, there you can see, top of the championship, 389 points, as we alluded to. Mansell just behind with 85 points behind. Vladislav Lomko in 3rd too. Lomko, of course, leading the rookie standings once again after another great display yesterday. We saw him get ahead of Goethe heading through turn 1. He has no such qualms this time. Starts on the 2nd row of the grid alongside of that of Josh Mason. As you can see, the car's now very vigorously warming up those tyres, getting ready for the start. It's been a very cold morning here at Austria, so certainly the temperatures aren't quite the same as what they were yesterday. Of course, we've yet to see the rain, though it is forecast here this afternoon, so it could be the case we'd have interchangeable conditions during the course of this race, which could very easily confuse matters. But nevertheless, Ayrton Simmons on top, looking for a big result for DriveX, making their return this weekend to the championship. And great to see them back as well. Frederick Lubin alongside him. A masterclass of defensive efforts this man has managed to bring together. Certainly Imola was sensational, keeping the great Olli Goethe in behind, securing his podium. And there is the great Dane there. He's going to be starting from the back of the grid. He's going to need a huge launch. And obviously, he's no stranger to huge launches. His trainer, Stuart Hall, made sure, especially after round 1, trying to get those starts improved, and they've certainly done that as Simmons now lines up on pole. Frederick Lubin lines up alongside him, and the teams all look onwards up at the screens as we get ready for the start of this one. Josh Mason in behind as well. If he gets a good start, we know what he's like. As soon as he gets in front, very hard to catch is Josh Mason. There's the Mason family watching on, all of Moto Park and Crypto Tower, everybody, DriveX all watching on. Green flags waving, here come the lights. 3rd light, 4th light, and the 5th light. And it is pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 go. Ayrton Simmons gets off the line like a shot. Josh Mason with a huge start as well. Lubin was a little bit lackadaisical coming off the line, but gets through turn 1. Mansell runs off wide, tries to tackle that of Freddie Lubin. In behind as well, Simonazzi trying to find his way through too. He's tying up with Alex Garcia. Olli Goethe also looking to come through as well. Christian Mansell side by side with Lomko as they now charge up towards Remus. Still Simmons leads. Mason, a huge jump. He gets into 2nd. Mansell now looking to try and tag 3rd place. Coming around Remus. Oh, he's run wide again. He's dropped back. That's cost him a lot of time. He's gone from what could have been 3rd down to 5th place. Sensational start, Ian.
Fantastic getaway from Ayrton Simmons, who's in P1, but he's under attack big time from his countryman Josh Mason. The drivers from the Kings England, 1, 2, 3 on the grid. And Christian Mansell, also from the British Commonwealth. He was briefly up into P3, but he's dropped back into P5. Not a good start from Simonazzi. He's on the outside of the championship leader, Oliver Goethe. Good defensive driving from Alex Garcia, who is keeping both these drivers behind him. There is the championship leader, Olli Goethe in car 96. Simonazzi for BVM Racing as Ayrton Simmons. A fantastic start for the championship returnee as Goethe down the inside tries to take Garcia, but the Mexican holds his nerve, runs off the circuit though. Oh, and he still holds him off. Super driving from Alex Garcia as Ayrton Simmons leads them across the line for the first time. Mason in second place. The Brits go 1-2. Here comes Lomko. We told you before the start of the race to watch out for Vlad in car 69, expecting big things from him in the remaining 20 laps of race 2, Euroformula Open. This round here in Austria at the Red Bull Ring as Simonazzi now on the outside of Goethe. They're 3 wide as they race up the hill. Mason offliners, Simmons still backs them up. There's Lomko in third place. Fantastic start to race 2 at the Red Bull Ring.
Yeah, Ayrton Simmons doing well to defend against Josh Mason, but Mason will have the run down through towards Schloss Gold as they do go 2 by 2 here in towards the next right-hander, into the deep descent, the next right, clipping the apex. Great move there from Simmons to defend the position. Goethe has managed to jump through, past that of Garcia and Simonazzi. He is now moving up. He's up to 6th place. He now needs to close on his title contender, Christian Mansell. Of course, we just saw earlier on Garcia trying to pull off a stern defensive. The last time that both Goethe and Garcia came together was that infamous incident back at Imola. What a moment that was as well around the Ravazza corners, as we now watch them make their way down through towards the final sector on this particular lap. Ayrton Simmons still leads. Josh Mason, who has certainly been trying to find every route possible past that of the driver, isn't quite able to pull that off. And here is the replay as they went 3 wide, heading up through towards turn 3. There's Goethe, side by side there with Garcia. Simonazzi also poking his nose through round the outside. Garcia losing out 2 places on 1 single occasion. That's gotta hurt.
Patience shown there from the championship leader, Ollie Goethe, as Ayrton Simmons. A fantastic performance for Team Drivex. Incidentally, Daniel Nogales, the young Spaniard, has taken the start. He did start the race from pit lane. He'll be praying for a safety car to try and catch up the rest of the field. He's out there at the moment as his teammate leads the way. Ayrton Simmons, a brilliant performance. He's got the speed. He's got the talent. Second in the British F3 Championship and a disjointed 2021. Back with us in Euroformula Open. And he leads Josh Mason, 2 times a race winner in 2022. There's Simonazzi. He showed tremendous skill, pace and speed yesterday. Does not have the track position or the rhythm this morning. Mason in P2, Lomko P3. Then we go to Lubin. Mansell drops back to P5 after running in 3rd early on in the race. Goethe now up into 6. Simonazzi, Garcia and Nogales half a lap behind after starting from pit lane.
Top 3 within a second. Simmons, Mason, Lomko. Lomko, the Grand Prix Depot winner, currently leads the rookie standings. Car number 69 now beckoning its way round the final corner. Oh, dearie me, that's Daniel Nogales. Daniel Nogales, once again, car stopped on track. Now, will this enforce maybe a yellow flag situation? Will keep you in tow.
Safety car, George.
We have got a safety car.
Oh, actually, sorry. I may have I'm looking at race control down out our commentary box, and the race director actually grabbed the SC board and put it down. Apologies. I'm staring at him as you get back to the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Simmons still leads. Mason second. No safety car as it stands, folks. Lomko currently sat in 3rd. Lubin sitting in 4th, just waiting patiently. Mansell, a move that we saw him make yesterday. Again, a last gasp effort up towards Remus, almost catching Lubin off guard, but Lubin able to come back on. We saw that from Mansell yesterday. He pulled it off, and now Josh Mason goes hunting now for that P1 spot. Late on the brakes into Schloss Gold. A test of strength with Ayrton Simmons. Simmons doesn't have to hold on as Simonazzi tries to tag back at Goethe. A rampant display here. Let's see that again. Incredible. Mansell pulls out at the very last moment, gets the apex as well. He is oh so good at it, but wasn't quite enough to unseat that of Frederick Lubin. As here comes Mansell again.
Christian Mansell there fighting with Frederick Lubin. The race director, he's holding the yellow flag in his hand, but not waving it yet. Ayrton Simmons out front from Josh Mason. Vlad Lomko. There is Mansell going through, the driver from Newcastle, north of Sydney in Australia. 2nd in the championship. A couple of rounds in the FIA F3 series, which wrapped up earlier this morning at Monza, where we race in 2 weeks' time, the penultimate round of the 2022 championships. Also, congratulations to Felipe Drugovic, our 2018 Euroformula Open champion, winning the F2 series overnight in Italy. Ayrton Simmons, the Brit, still in P1, a superb performance on his return to Euroformula Open. Simonazzi now on the back of Goethe. And it's Mansell and Frederick Lubin under attack. Goethe sends it down the inside. The Australian runs off the circuit, holds his nerve, holds his foot flat. Here's an opportunity for Simonazzi on the outside of the championship leader. They're 2 wide, they're almost 3 wide as they race down the back straight. Out front though, Simmons under attack from Josh Mason. Side by side, the 2 Brits. Simmons is off the road. Simmons in the grass. He loses the lead. Mason goes through to P1 ahead of Lomko.
Josh Mason takes the lead after a little tie-up heading out of what was Slosh Gold. The 2 of them coming together. Simmons unfortunately losing the positions. He is now dropping further down the field into 4th place, I believe, now sitting himself in behind Frederick Lubin, who is now in a podium place. Sensational 3rd spot. Here's the replay of the move where you saw Mansell, a lock-up from Goethe. He was very late on the brakes, had to quickly put the squeeze on. Mansell getting pushed out wide as well as a result. The 3 of them coming together, the advantage to Simonazzi too, but that was the big moment. Josh Mason moving into the lead as the 2 leaders tie. Unfortunately, of course, though, for Ayrton Simmons dropping down to 4th place, he did such a good job of holding on to it. It just wasn't to be at that specific moment. But Mason now with an advantage in front. Vladislav Lomko, who's now on his tail and really starting to try and close right now as they now lead up towards turn 3. Lomko, oh, great little switch there from Lomko. Looks up the inside, opens the door, takes the lead there, does Lomko. The Grand Prix de Pau winner once again on top. And in the slipstream now, Mason will have a lovely run leading down through towards Slosh Gold. They've got turn 4 coming up very shortly. They deep dive into it. They've got the descent coming up next. Lomko squeezes him to the outside as the 2 come together. Lomko holds on. Goethe, though, losing out to Simonazzi. These 2 tied up before. Some of you might remember Hungary. Again, Simonazzi gets ahead of Ollie Goethe. Amazing stuff here, Ian.
Fantastic racing, not the biggest field in open wheel history, but this is absolutely world class. Mason with the lead. Lomko has now taken the lead over from Mason. Lubin back there. Heartbreak for Ayrton Simmons. The Drivex team, we've got a glimpse of them on pit wall. Their driver, Simmons, the Spanish car, in fact, the British-Spanish driver, there he is on your screen, car 12, was in the lead, now in position 4. 1/4 race distance. Vlad Lomko from grid 4. Josh Mason, car 21, looking for another, what would be his 3rd victory of the year for Josh Mason if he could do it. Lomko now does have the lead courtesy of that move a few moments ago. Just like missiles, these Dallara EF320 cars. Simonazzi now ahead of the championship leader. Ollie Goethe must be frustrated, back in 7th place.
Yeah, and also the incident involving Mason and that of Simmons is under investigation. Of course, the 2 came together on the outside of Slosh Gold, of course, resulting in Simmons dropping down to 4th place. And now, looks like the stewards are going to be taking a look at turn 4 as well. So we'll have to wait and see what comes of that one. Obviously, Mason currently sat in 2nd. Of course, Vladislav Lomko taking the lead of the race and has now started to build a gap, just over 0.8 of a second in behind Lubin in 3rd, who looks good for a podium right now. Should he be able to defend against the approaching Ayrton Simmons with Christian Mansell not far behind him? It's been an absolutely electrifying start to this race here at Red Bull Ring. Again, it's still, and we've got another investigation as well between car 96, Oliver Goethe, and that of Christian Mansell as well. Those 2 fighting for the championship, coming together again, this time at Remus. An incredible moment, certainly to say the least. The drama continues here in the Euroformula Open Championship. A reminder of the standings. Goethe on top with 396 points. Mansell with 82 points behind 314. Vladislav Lomko, the rookie championship leader, 295 points in overall championship standing 3rd place. So incredible scenes indeed as the cars now will streak down through towards turn 1, the Niki Lauda curve. There's Simonazzi. Very impressed with Simonazzi again this weekend. Again, getting past that of Ollie Goethe. And it's such a great move. Again, showing that aggression that we just simply love to see.
Still no word from race control. That incident under investigation. What happened to the mantra of let them race as we look at Christian on the outside of Ayrton? A plastic bag. In fact, he's had debris on the back of his car, which has just been shattered. Christian Mansell as Simmons runs off the road. Simonazzi up the inside of Simmons. Mansell's gone through. Let's hope it was just debris, which destroyed itself at over 150 miles an hour up the hill. There is Mansell. Simonazzi on the outside where there is grip to be held. Mansell follows or leads through Simonazzi. There's Simmons. There is the championship leader, Goethe. Out front, Vlad Lomko, 1.3 seconds down the road from Mason. Earlier leading the race, Freddie Lubin is up into P3 from this battle. Simmons, Mansell, Simonazzi, Goethe, and Alex Garcia Simmons from Ollie Goethe, who must be frustrated, needs to have some patience, hold his nerve, cannot throw it away. Any chance of a 10th victory this morning? It looks unlikely, but championship points, of course, on the line.
Yeah, Francesco Simonazzi again, the ultimate opportunist, getting himself up into 5th place yet again, utilising obviously the battling that was happening between that of Mansell and Ayrton Simmons, who's now at the mercy of one Oliver Goethe as well.
George just getting news from race control. Josh Mason with a 3-second penalty. Wow, he's in position 2 as Goethe. Up the inside of Simmons, the early race leader, has fallen back. Josh Mason, P2, has been penalised 3 seconds for that incident. You just get confirmation of that, the graphic on your screen, as Simmons tries to fight on the outside now of Goethe. Mason in 2nd place in the race, but with that 3-second penalty, it puts him right in this battle between Mansell and Simonazzi. We approach half race distance. Race 2 Euroformula Open. Simonazzi so close to the back of the Australian. On the outside goes the Italian. Mansell goes in deep under brakes. Goethe down the inside of Ayrton Simmons. How good is this at the Red Bull Ring, the 2022 Euroformula Open Championship? Mansell with Simonazzi breathing down his neck. The Australian from the Italian with the adopted Frenchman Vlad Lomko still in position 1.
Simonazzi hovering all over the rear of Christian Mansell. This is a stunning display. Here's the moment. Obviously, there looked to be some paper or some debris, something just smashed off. Yeah, it certainly looked like some bodywork. Not quite sure what it was, but tying up with Simmons up through Remus, it did not deter Mansell. It also opened the door for Simonazzi as well, who is now peppering that of Christian Mansell. The Aussie in trouble as the Italian looks to try and get closer. I tell you what, he has come out fighting as Francesco Simonazzi. He fancies a podium, certainly to say the least. He was fastest in FP2 over the weekend, and now making his way out of turn 1. He's going to make the ascent now, leading up through towards turn 3, the Remus curve. Lomko still on top. Incidentally enough, Josh Mason, who has got that 5-second time penalty, has got a little bit of breathing space, as now in comes now that of Simonazzi, leading up through towards Remus. Has a little look now in the mirror of Christian Mansell. He needs the overspeed, heading out of turn 3 now. Can he make the move down through towards turn 4? The BVM car hunting all over, showing in the mirrors again, trying to force Mansell to make a move. Here comes Simonazzi, switches to the inside, but still Mansell holds on to that 4th place.
Simonazzi all over the back of Christian Mansell, 2nd in the championship. Mason with that 3-second penalty, it would put him right in this battle between Christian Mansell and Francesco Simonazzi, who is just getting better and better as the race goes on. Approaching half race distance, there's Simmons dropping off in the background from Ollie Goethe, who is, what, 6-7 seconds behind the race leader Vlad Lomko, who has incidentally been issued with his last warning for track limits. Oh, gee, that's a curse word, is it not? At the Ring curve where they're approaching now. Vlad Lomko, 1.7 seconds, needs to keep it between the white line. I'll just stay silent on that matter. We'll get back to the battle for this, the final step of the podium. There's Lomko, Mason, Lubin. Mansell just drops off Simonazzi, who will come under attack from Goethe in a moment. The BVM racing car sideways on the exit. Spectacular from the Italian. Loses a bit of time, but gets the benefit of the slipstream up the hill. Now Simmons tries to fight back. He's been nursing the Michelin tyres for an attack in the second half of the race, which we're moving into now. Fantastic racing in Euroformula Open. Mansell slow on the exit. Here comes Simonazzi. He'll get the tow as they race down the back straight. Gets the slipstream, tucks under the wheel of the 71 Crypto Tower racing team car, dives down the inside, tucks back in. Mansell, for the moment, holds him off.
He does indeed. Mansell is very wary. He had Simonazzi breathing down his neck yesterday, and now Simonazzi's doing it all over again. He doesn't want to miss out this time on what could be a huge result for BVM, certainly in terms of their rookie standings and the overall championship too. Simonazzi's so keen to get that overall podium. He's got a little bit of work to do though. Lubin still remains in 3rd. Mansell, obviously, I think a little bit more concerned about what's going on behind him. Of course, just to remind you folks, Josh Mason with that 3-second time penalty, he's 1.8 seconds behind that of Vladislav Lomko, who's just issued the fastest lap of the race on lap 10. Freddie Lubin, though, 2.4 seconds now. That gap's going out between Josh Mason and Lubin. Mason could hold on to P2 should that gap go out any further. Maybe even another half a tenth is all he needs. Half a tenth of a second. It could make all the difference at this point. A 2-second time penalty, though, for car 24, and that is for Alex Garcia, who is not having a lot of luck with track limits on his case either, as we're now seeing the cars once again ascend up towards Rima. Simonazzi, again, the widest point of the track, defensive for Christian Mansell at this point as they now come out of turn 3. Again, Simonazzi will be spying an opportunity very shortly. Here's the replay of Vladislav Lomko just making his way over the rumble strips, over the curves, barely touching the sausage curb. He's in control right now.
They are torturing the Michelin tyres out here. Mansell was slow out of the Lauda curve one. He was sideways on the exit, as was Simonazzi the laps before, and that allows Francesco in car 84, Frank Simon, over the back of Christian Mansell. As they race down the hill, there's Goethe in the background using every piece of the racetrack and then some. Look at that, a 2-second penalty for the race leader. Oh wow, a sensation here in Austria. Vlad Lomko, 2-second penalty for, oh, I hate to say it, is track limits, can you believe, at Jochenring Curve 2 where they're approaching now, but he's got a 2.1 second lead over Josh Mason in second place, who himself has got a 3-second penalty, which puts him down in 4th place. And Simonazzi now with a 2-second penalty. Oh, come on. What happened to the mantra of just let them race? Mansell may well move up into 3rd place. We're into the second half of the race. Vlad Lomko has got 2.2 seconds over Mason himself. We're struggling to keep track of this. Let's just concentrate on the battle out front and the distance between Lomko, not only himself and Mason, but also Freddie Lubin, and this fantastic fight between Mansell and Simonazzi.
Yeah, well, Lubin now, he's only currently 2.4 seconds behind that of Josh Mason. He needs to close the gap. If he can, there's an opportunity for Lubin, should he be able to rein it in, that he could become our new race leader. We'll have to wait and see, folks. Obviously, we've still got 9 laps to go. Great opportunity for Freddie Lubin. And there's the car belonging to Alex Garcia in the pit lane. A potential issue there. It doesn't look like it's much good right now. He's in the box. And obviously, Nogales will obviously be hunting him down for that P8 spot, as we're now watching Simonazzi heading through the next left out of the Berthen Roche curves. He'll have the Jochenring curve coming up next. He's got just ahead of him Christian Mansell in 4th. There's Josh Mason, who still holds on to that 2nd place spot. Mansell, in all the carnage and all the chaos, he could yet find himself on the podium, given the way the time penalties have been figured out. Obviously, he's still got Lubin ahead of him. He does need to usurp that to Freddie Lubin. Simonazzi, though, has not left his rear for one single moment. Incredible indeed. And we've got a reprimand as well for car 84. Simonazzi getting a reprimand for warming up tyres after the SC line.
Vlad Lomko with the fastest lap of the race, incidentally, a 1:24.7 at an average speed of 183 k's an hour. That is frighteningly fast in these Euroformula Open cars. There's Olli Goethe, a quiet race for the championship leader behind Simonazzi, who's been penalised. Mason has been penalised. Lomko has been penalised. Oh dear, oh dear. Simonazzi underneath the rear wing of the Australian Christian Mansell. White lines it down the back straight. Simonazzi pulls out where there is grip on the outside. On the rubber line, Mansell puts the 71 Crypto Tower Racing Team car in the middle of the circuit. Simonazzi follows him down the hill. The dying stages are well into the second half of the race as Simonazzi sends it down the inside, almost loses the front wing of the BVM racing car. That allows Goethe to close up ever so slightly. Simonazzi uses every piece of the racetrack before he turns into each corner, particularly on that prior one and also the Jochenring curves. At the top of the hill as well. Turns left before he turns right, so they slam it down the hill. There's Goethe in the background. Simonazzi just loses a tenth or two as they come onto the straight, 6th gear, and accelerate to over 250 k's an hour. Simonazzi gets the slipstream from Mansell. So position 4, we really do have to wait till the end of the race to see where these penalties apply and where they shake themselves out. A close-up of the Italian. The final round of the championship in 2021, a full attack with the Italian team, BVM Racing, for 2022. He's got the speed, but frustrated behind Christian Mansell. As Lubin in P3. Mason and Lomko, the fastest driver on the circuit. The gap, incidentally, between Lomko and Mason is 2.5 seconds as Simonazzi gets the toe. Freddie Lubin has been caught by both of them. That's the talking point now. As Christian and Francesco were fighting amongst themselves, they've both caught the back of the Brit, Freddie Lubin.
Very impressed here with Simonazzi. Obviously, penalty points aside, or certainly seconds added to his race time, he has been sensational, certainly trying to challenge that of Christian Mansell, holding on to that 5th place. But Freddie Lubin now has got to pull off yet another defensive masterclass. There is still a podium at stake here with Christian Mansell just in behind that of Lubin. Of course, Mason now is doing a lot of hard work. He's trying to expand that gap to 3 seconds at least in order for him to maintain and hold on to that podium place. He's in 2nd right now. It's on the cusp of 3 seconds. Mason could yet hold on to 2nd at this point. Lubin in 3rd, Mansell in behind as well. Simonazzi, here comes Goethe as well in behind. You can just see him in the distance, the championship leader, very late in the day. Could he cause a mass upset leading towards the back end of this race? We've still got 6 laps left, 13.5 minutes. We're within that now here at this point of the race. Simonazzi getting closer, as well as Mansell, who's trying to cruise up in behind that of Freddie Lubin as they now make their way up towards turn 3. There's the Italian now, dazzling us all in Hungary. And then, of course, Imola as they now switch. Mansell again goes to the move at turn 3. They make contact. They make contact, run out wide. And Simonazzi has now moved ahead there of Mansell. Incredible scenes here. Sensational. And you can see the BVM team absolutely thrilled with that. Mansell, who went for it at turn 3, here on Freddie Lubin. Lubin now looks to go down the inside at Slosh Gold. Again, side by side. Mansell losing out. Goethe goes through. Goethe goes through past Mansell. Sensational stuff here in Euroformula Open. Simonazzi now moves ahead there of Mansell. He's up into P3 on track, I believe.
Fantastic pass by Francesco Simonazzi and an intelligent drive from Olli Goethe. Watch this. Up the hill, Mansell at the very last moment dives down the inside. They touch. And Simonazzi says, no problem, boys. And the Italian takes the both of them. Olli Goethe will pick up Freddie Lubin, who was in position 4. And he falls right back, locks up over the ripple strip. He's on the grass. Oh, wow, between Mansell and Frederick Lubin. Simonazzi takes the both of them as they drive a mile off the circuit. There's Goethe in the background. Thinking about the championship shortly is Olli Goethe in car 96. He's in position 5. Simonazzi now escapes from that battle, so he does have the speed in the 84 BVM racing car. Mansell now back behind Goethe.
There's a call now. Team managers to report to race control. Obviously, warnings for track limits have been distributed by the stewards. Fastest lap for Simonazzi. The team have told him to push a 1:24.663. Remember, he, of course, has got to usher in that time because he's got that penalty. He needs Lubin to do him a favor at this point in order to hold on to that podium. This could be exactly what Simonazzi's been waiting for. He holds the fastest lap. Goethe getting so close to the gravel as well. We just saw pictures of Alex Garcia, who is in the box. He will be, of course, retiring from this race, I can only imagine, as now we're seeing pictures of Vladislav Lomko now, who leads the way, a 3.4 second advantage. Josh Mason as well, 3.4 seconds in behind, but 3.2, crucially enough, ahead of Simonazzi, so that will mean he will hold on to at least that 2nd place as things stand.
Yes, Alex Garcia down in the garage. He has retired there, talking with Marcus Siebert, former driver in Euroformula Open. George, my mathematics is less than 4. We have to work out the penalties applied at the end of the race. But on track, Simonazzi, the fastest driver on the circuit, although Vlad Lomko has now just flashed across the line and done a 1:24.57. Regardless, though, Simonazzi has pulled away from this battle, which includes the championship leader. As you see, Olli Goethe just checked the left side mirror. There is Mansell right behind. The German Dane from Monte Carlo in car 96 in the most beautiful car in open wheel motorsport. The Golf livery car of Olli Goethe, car 96 for Team Moto Park. Out front, Lomko from Mason, so Lomko is quick as well. Goethe now gets the run on Frederick Lubin. An intelligent drive for Oliver Goethe. Won't win the race, but he may well make the podium. He's got the speed. He's not panicking as we move into the dying stages of this race. Do I speak too soon? He runs into the back of Frederick Lubin. Simonazzi skips away. That's cost Oliver Goethe, and Christian Mansell senses his opportunity to capitalise. Contact between Frederick and Oliver. Mansell's right there as well. 3 laps remaining at the end of this one. Look at this. Lubin slow on the exit. Oliver just runs into the back of him. A correction from Lubin. That could have been a big crash, but they carry on.
Yeah, tapping the rear lights there on Lubin's car. Of course, that won't disturb Lomko, though. He's well clear right now. 4.2 seconds is the gap between him and Josh Mason right now. Mason, once again, I said he was comfortable before. Simonazzi, though, trying to close. Obviously, Simonazzi's got his own penalty, but already he's broken that 3-second gap that was previously there between Mason and Simonazzi. So incredible scenes indeed. Simonazzi could yet cause yet a bigger upset. Look at how fast he's going. Remember, he had the fastest lap previously. That was taken off him by Vladislav Lomko, who still holds on to it right now, but that doesn't change the fact that Simonazzi is closing relentlessly on Josh Mason right now. He's brought it in another 3/10. It's now 2.5 seconds that separates the Brit and the Italian right now, with Lubin, the cork in the bottle, trying to keep Ollie Goethe in behind, who has got ahead of Christian Mansell. They head into Slosh Gold. Lubin still holding his own, trying to stay fast in 4th place. Of course, he's still got Simonazzi up the road. If Simonazzi doesn't get clear, Lubin could jump him and still take the podium.
Simonazzi on the podium for the moment. Of course, if we do get a safety car in the dying stages of this race, that will change absolutely everything. But for the moment, Vladislav Lomko, the fastest driver on the circuit, in position 1. Mason in position 2 on the circuit. Simonazzi has pulled away superbly. A 1:24.99 last time round. Faster than Mason in 2nd place. 2 laps now remaining as you look at the championship leader, Oliver Goethe, just ahead of Christian Mansell, driving the wheels after 71 Crypto Tower Racing Team car gets the slipstream. As we go back to the front, the adopted French driver, the Pau Grand Prix winner, Vladislav Lomko, former international kart racer with VDK Racing and Kart Republic in the past few seasons, steps up out of F4 and has dominated this race, the second part of it here this morning at the Red Bull Ring. This is Josh Mason, a 3rd victory for 2022. It does not look likely for the moment. Simonazzi is close to the back of Josh as Oliver now gets the tow from Freddie Lubin. Look how close he is to the Brit. Pulls out there side by side, racing down the back straight. Watch Mansell in the background. Goethe goes in deep. Lubin covers him off. Mansell will close up on the inside, which will become the outside. The penultimate lap of race 2, round 7, the 2022 Euroformula Open Championship. And still Lubin holds off both Oliver Goethe and Christian Mansell for the moment. Mansell sends it down the inside. Nicely done by the Australian. Picks up a place finally. Applause down in the motor park garage as Lomko is about to start the final lap of the race. Goethe now tries to fight back on the back of Christian Mansell.
Yeah, big moments here between the 2 championship leaders. Of course, we just saw the provisional standings. It didn't look too different from what we saw at the start of the race, of course, as we start the final lap. This was the moment, a little bit loose there from Goethe as Mansell had the inside line, tucked it in, managed to get it out of the Roche and Wirth curves, but Goethe still standing fast, standing tall. He tried to get it back, but Mansell had that important inside line. You could see Goethe glancing across. He had to forfeit at that point, and a clap there in the garage. And certainly the team watch on as the 2 great championship contenders collide, as we're now watching Vladislav Lomko now on the final lap here in this extraordinary Australian race in the Euroformula Open Championship. It's absolutely sensational. Vladislav Lomko, who currently leads the way, holding his own here, making his way through the next double left-handers for the final time here on this lap. Mason in behind, 4 seconds the deficit. Lomko has driven superbly. The clean air has been certainly gifted in his favour at this point. With all the battling that's gone on in behind, it looks like Simonazzi might be on course to get his first overall podium this season, as now we see Lomko take a deep descent dive now through Jochenring curve. He'll have Red Bull Mobile coming up next. He's won twice already this season, one time being the Grand Prix de Plo. Vladislav Lomko will come across the line in race 2 and will take victory here at the Red Bull Ring. In 2nd place, Josh Mason. Simonazzi, what a drive in 3rd place. He's got 2nd. Simonazzi has got 2nd. The penalty points decided that fact. He is in 2nd place. Mason in 3rd.
What a finish here at the Red Bull Ring. Take nothing away from Vlad Lomko. Another victory, a fine drive. He had the speed in car 69. Takes the win here on Sunday morning, September 11, at the Austrian round of the series. Sorry, no kangaroos in Austria, George. Just a slight correction, but the adopted French driver Vlad Lomko takes the victory. Simonazzi P2. Josh Mason slowing across the line, but with that penalty applied as well, drops to third place. Lubin, Mansell, Goethe, Ayrton Simmons. A good fight back from Ayrton Simmons after leading earlier on in the race. Great return to the series, but Vlad Lomko takes the victory here this morning, and the rain, which was forecast, never arrived.
Didn't see it, and much to the relief I can imagine the spectators who are watching on, but here is the confirmation. And it was two rookies up at the top. Vladislav Lomko, though, claiming the win. The all-important win here in race 2. Francesco Simonazzi, what an exquisite drive here in race 2. Josh Mason in 3rd, yet another podium goes to him. Frederick Lubin, another great drive in 4th as well. The duel between Mansell and Goethe was decided, with Mansell finishing in 5th, Goethe in 6th as well. Ayrton Simmons started very strongly indeed. Unfortunately, down in P7, but he will be back. Alex Garcia, obviously out of the race in P8. Daniel Nogales struggling in 9th as well. But Oliver Goethe still leads the championship. The points gap still relatively the same. Christian Mansell in 2nd, with Vladislav Lomko in 3rd. Obviously, after that win, getting closer to that of Christian Mansell. Josh Mason in 4th, with Frederick Lubin in 5th. Francesco Simonazzi, great drive in 6th place. Sebastian Ogard 7th. Philip Ugran in 8th, with Alex Garcia 9th, Ayrton Simmons 10th in the championship. As the cars now enter into Parc Ferme, I can tell you there's going to be 2 drivers out there that are certainly going to enjoy the taste of this one. One being Vladislav Lomko, but how about Francesco Simonazzi? That has got to be his drive of the season.
We saw the BVM Racing team applauding down in pit lane as Vlad Lomko pulls into victory lane. Part of the victory lane effort, which took victory this morning in the FIA F3 Championship with Victor Martins, managed by Victor and his brother Nicholas. Vlad Lomko with the win, and yes, Francesco Simonazzi, P2 overall for the Italian. Struggling in the final round of 2021. What a fight back. He's one step off, or one place off the top step of the podium. There's Josh Mason, the Brit. P3 will try and listen in. Francesco, bravissimo, P2 for BVM Racing.
He loves it. That's brilliant to see. I mean, Francesco Simonazzi is such a great human being. I got to meet him and his team in Hungary, and he certainly was looking for an improved performance, certainly an improved second half of the season. He's certainly given that to his team. And pats on the back for Vladislav Lomko, yet another win going his way. Josh Mason, I'm sure he would have wondered what could have been, but still a great podium, to say the least, for the Brit. But Vladislav Lomko, once again, showing us that he is a star for the future. A wonderful showing, certainly in his rookie season in Euroformula Open. After winning the Grand Prix de Pau, he took yet another victory as well. 3 wins this season for Vlad Lomko. And celebrates with Josh Mason as well, who looked in, certainly fine Vettel, looked in tight contendership for that lead at the start of the race. Got a lovely launch as well. So I'm sure his team will have nothing more than encouraging, well, certainly take encouragement off that performance.
Josh, sorry about that. How was your race? Okay.
I left some in the space. I don't know why you just drove off. The space was there.
It is what it is.
Drove off.
That's fine.
Yeah, fine.
You still got the so be proud of that race.
Yeah. Then I would say you probably needed to take him earlier. That move could have been done earlier. That's it.
But he depends really.
No, he's a good driver. He's a good guy.
Well, the English driver started 1, 2, 3 on the grid, but the top Brit home on the podium is Josh in 3rd place. Mason for Crypto Tower Racing Team 3rd on the podium. Francesco Simonazzi for BVM Racing, P2 outright in race 2 here this morning for the Italian. Vlad Lomko takes the victory, and he's down in pit lane. And we're about to hear from the race winner, who's with Alfredo Filippone. Vlad Lomko, race 2 winner here in Austria.
Lomko, 3rd win, congratulations, in a crazy race with the top 3 that got penalties, but at the end it worked well for you.
Thank you. It feels really good, but the race was quite crazy, especially when I found out I have a penalty, and then it was all about keeping the car on the track without losing too much time. So kind of managing and making sure I don't make any more track limits.
Nice overtakes, though.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was a good a good move in the first lap to P3, I think. And then, for P1 as well, it was quite a nice one.
Well done.
Thank you.
And podium now.
Thank
Bravo.
You.
Well, what a race it was. Vlad Lomko on top. Here come the highlights from that last race. It was a great start indeed for Josh Mason, but also a great start for Ayrton Simmons. Certainly graced his presence here in race 2. Mason managed to get up into second place ahead of that of the 78 car belonging to Freddie Lubin. They went round turn 1. Simmons led. Mansell went out wide. Didn't have the best of starts, but they went 3 wide as well near enough earlier on, with Simonazzi trying to get into the fray as Goethe then looked to challenge, making his way up towards turn 3. Once again, they duelled. This time it was Josh Mason, Ayrton Simmons, getting really up close and personal on the outside of Schlossgold out of turn 4. Ayrton Simmons would venture into the turf, as now we're seeing Mason once again, this time at turn 3, losing out to Vladislav Lomko, who would then go on to lead the way. Mansell was right in the thick of it, though. He had Simonazzi breathing down his neck. A great performance from the Italian, but Mansell dazzled us with certainly some immense dive bombs and great execution of overtakes heading through turn 3. Of course, this one surprising Simmons, who rejoined the circuit with Simonazzi alongside him. Simonazzi, once again, as I said earlier, a great display. Mansell would then again go again at turn 3. This would push out his co-compatriot out wide as well, allowing Simonazzi to go ahead of the pair of them, Lubin dropping back. And this was the moment, of course, when again Lubin came together with Christian Mansell, opening the door for the great Dane Ollie Goethe. These 3 would continue to duel throughout the race. Goethe and Mansell, the 2 championship contenders, coming through the Rauschenwerth curves, allowed Mansell to perform such a great overtake, but it would be Vladislav Lomko who would take the checkered flag and victory for his team.
Vlad Lomko with the victory here this morning, and he's only, 20 points behind now Christian Mansell in the championship. P3, Josh Mason. P2, Francesco Simonazzi. And Vlad Lomko takes victory. Race 2, round 7 of the 2022 championship. Seven races to decide the 2022 Euroformula Open Championship. One more here this afternoon at the Red Bull Ring. That takes place at 3:30 local time. We hope you can join us for that. After Vlad Lomko takes victory here Sunday morning, September 11, at the home of the Austrian Formula One Grand Prix. Goethe with an 83-point lead over Christian Mansell, and with his victory, yes, Vlad Lomko just 20 points behind the Australian with 7 races to decide the title. Thanks for your company. We'll see you for race 3 from the Red Bull Ring at 3:30 this afternoon. We'll see you then.
Penso Francesco!